March 27, 1977, a small island airport in the Canary Islands becomes the center of the deadliest accident in aviation history. Two Boeing 747 jumbo jets, one fog-covered runway, and a single misunderstood phrase. In less than 1 minute, 583 lives would be lost, not in the air, but on the ground. This is the story of the Tenerife Airport Disaster. Los Rodeos Airport, today called Tenerife North, was a small regional airport. It had one single runway, limited taxiways, no ground radar, and controllers relying entirely on radio and visibility. On this day, none of that would be enough. Earlier that morning, a terrorist bombing occurred at Gran Canaria Airport, forcing authorities to shut it down temporarily. As a result, multiple international wide-body aircraft were diverted to Los Rodeos, including two Boeing 747s, KLM Flight 4805, Pan Am Flight 1736. The airport became overcrowded. Jets were parked on taxiways. Operations slowed to a crawl. And then the fog arrived. KLM Flight 4805 was commanded by Captain Jacob van Zanton, one of KLM's most senior and respected pilots. He was a training captain, featured in KLM advertisements, known for discipline and authority. His reputation mattered, and that would later play a role. Pan Am 1736 was commanded by Captain Victor Grubbs, an experienced pilot flying a full passenger load of tourists heading home to the United States. Both crews were professional. Both were experienced. Neither expected danger, especially not on the ground. Gran Canaria Airport eventually reopened. Now every diverted aircraft wanted to leave fast. KLM decided to refuel at Tenerife, adding significant weight to the aircraft. Pan Am chose not to refuel. This decision meant KLM would be heavier, takeoff distance would be longer, time pressure would increase. Meanwhile, visibility dropped to less than 300 meters. At times, pilots could barely see the nose of their own aircraft. Air traffic control issued instructions. KLM was told to taxi down the runway, turn around at the end, and prepare for departure. Pan Am was instructed to follow KLM down the runway and exit via a taxiway called C3. Here's the problem. Taxiway C3 was poorly marked, difficult to see in fog, required a sharp turn impossible for a 747 at speed. Pan Am missed the exit. They continued taxiing, still on the runway. No one could see them. This is where everything collapses. KLM completes its turnaround and lines up. The captain advances the throttle slightly, a sign of impatience. Then he radios, "We are now at takeoff." To the KLM captain, this meant, "We are in position." To the controller, it sounded dangerously close to taking off. The controller replies with route clearance, not takeoff clearance, but the words overlap with another transmission. Static. Blocked radio. Inside the cockpit, the flight engineer hesitates. Is he not clear then? That Pan American? The captain replies firmly, "Oh yes," and pushes the throttles forward. Pan Am is still taxiing. Suddenly, through the fog, the crew sees landing lights rushing toward them. They attempt to turn left off the runway. It's too late. KLM rotates early, trying to lift off. The aircraft clips Pan Am's fuselage at over 250 kilometers per hour. Fuel ignites instantly. The KLM aircraft becomes airborne for seconds, then crashes in flames. Everyone on board KLM dies. Pan Am's aircraft is torn apart. Miraculously, 61 people escape from Pan Am, the only survivors. The cockpit voice recorders reveal no mechanical failure, no sabotage, no single villain. Instead, ambiguous language, poor visibility, authority gradient, lack of standardized phraseology. After Tenerife, The word takeoff is used only when clearance is given. Crew resource management (CRM) becomes mandatory. Ground radar becomes standard at major airports. A tragedy that changed aviation forever. The Tenerife Airport disaster wasn't caused by one mistake. It was caused by many small ones stacked perfectly. 583 people never reached the sky, because on that day the runway was more dangerous than the air. This was the deadliest accident in aviation history, and one the industry swore would never happen again. Subscribe to the Black Box Series channel for more in-depth accident breakdowns and the lessons that help make flying safer.